Darlings, gather around and settle in. Today we're diving into the latest masterpiece of manufactured drama coming straight from the British media machinery. Yes, the same machinery that seems to operate on a steady diet of delusion, projection and a chronic inability to let Harry and Meghan simply live their lives. And this time they've chosen to drag Princess Catherine, the Princess of Wales, into yet another imaginary saga. According to exclusive insiders, who somehow speak more than Kate herself has, in the last decade, Kate is secretly begging Prince Harry to return to the UK alone, without Meghan, without his partner, without the mother of his children. Darlings, we are witnessing peak fanfiction disguised as journalism. And today on the Sussex Insights, we're tearing this entire production apart, piece by piece, because this isn't just a headline. It's part of a fully orchestrated media strategy designed to distract, divide, and derail. Let's start with the obvious. This isn't news. It's a script. These tabloid narratives are crafted the same way soap operas are. Dramatic tension, exaggerated villains, misunderstood heroes, and a plot twist that keeps viewers coming back. But unlike actual soap operas, the characters here are real people. The media knows exactly how to provoke outrage. They know how to make people pick sides. They know how to frame Meghan as the outsider, Harry as the lost prince, William as the angry brother, and Kate as the delicate peacemaker trapped in the middle. It's a story that sells, but it's not a story grounded in truth. So let's examine this imaginary invitation Kate supposedly extended to Harry. We're being asked to believe that Kate, who is painfully aware of how the media weaponizes her name Kate, who guards her privacy tighter than the crown jewels Kate, who has never publicly added fuel to royal drama, suddenly decided to secretly ask Harry to fly to the UK alone and leave his wife behind. Make it make sense. Kate is known for her composure, her diplomacy, and her avoidance of drama. She does not operate in whispers and leaks. She doesn't play tabloid games. She doesn't manipulate headlines. This is a woman who has spent more than a decade presenting a consistent image of unity and stability. She would never risk that for a stunt. So, what's the real reason the media invented this? Simple. It keeps Meghan in the villain role, and it keeps the public glued to conflict. Let's be honest about the pattern here. Whenever reconciliation is mentioned, the narrative magically becomes, but Meghan is the obstacle. It's never institutional failures, the press racism, the palace leaks, or unresolved trauma. No, it's always Meghan's fault. The British media has spent years building Meghan into a character archetype. The outsider, the troublemaker, the woman who doesn't belong, the one who ruined the royal fairy tale. And once that archetype was set, every new headline became easier to sell. All they had to do was recycle the same formula. Blame Meghan. Frame Harry as confused. Position Kate and William as victims. Profit. It's a simple but effective system. And it works because the media knows repetition creates belief. Repeat a falsehood long enough and it becomes familiar. Familiarity becomes acceptance, and acceptance becomes common knowledge. It's manipulation 101. People often forget the human cost behind these narratives. These are not fictional characters. These are real people with families, children, mental health and emotions. These headlines cause real emotional pain, real stress, real public hostility, real threats, real damage. And while the public consumes the drama for entertainment, the media walks away with profit while the people involved live with the consequences. It's unethical, it's exploitative, and it's dangerous. Kate, the woman behind the myth. Let's revisit Kate for a moment. The tabloids love to paint her as a secret mastermind, quietly orchestrating emotional chess games behind palace doors. But that image doesn't align with the real woman we've observed for years. Kate has always been reserved, controlled, cautious, strategic, supportive, consistent. She avoids chaos like the plague. She understands the power of silence. She knows how damaging narratives can be because she has been targeted by them herself. So why would a woman who values unity suddenly start fueling division? She wouldn't. The idea that Kate is out here making secret requests and pushing Meghan aside is pure fiction. Now let's talk about William. The press loves portraying him as the furious brother who refuses to forgive Harry. But again, this version of William is exaggerated because it fits the drama. Real family conflicts are complex. Real people evolve. Real situations shift. But complexity doesn't sell. Simplicity does. So the media reduces William to a caricature. The cold prince, the resentful heir, the unyielding brother. But this ignores reality. William is raising 3 young children. He's preparing for the throne. He has responsibilities, charity work, and an entire kingdom to focus on. He doesn't have the luxury of sitting around nursing media-inflated grudges. One of the most frustrating things about the media narrative is how often Meghan's agency is erased. They portray her as controlling Harry, manipulating decisions, preventing reconciliation, keeping him away from his family. But in reality, Meghan is a grown woman making grown decisions. Her reluctance to return to the UK is understandable after the hostility, the threats, and the trauma she experienced. Protecting herself and her children is not villainous. It's called survival. She and Harry operate as a team, making mutual decisions based on their well-being, not the media's expectations. Here's the part the tabloids will never tell you. Harry and Meghan are not scrambling for relevance. They're not begging to return to the palace. They're not desperate for royal approval. In fact, they have built a global presence that stands completely outside the royal institution. Meanwhile, the British media relies on them for constant content. Almost every slow news week is rescued by a Harry and Meghan story. Without the Sussexes, the tabloids dry up, engagement drops, revenue declines, attention shifts elsewhere. Harry and Meghan are not the ones dependent on the monarchy, the media is dependent on them. Let that sink in. So what's the truth beneath the noise? A couple, Harry and Meghan, chose each other. They protected their peace. They walked away from a system that was harming them. They built a new life, new careers, new purpose. They are living their truth. They are parenting their children with intention. They are creating meaningful work. They are healing. That is what the media doesn't want people to see. Because once the public stops buying into the drama, the tabloid industry loses its grip. So, darlings, let's do what the tabloids refuse to do. Let's think deeper. Question louder. Look beyond the spectacle. The truth is quiet. It's steady. It's patient. And if you listen closely, it speaks of love, strength, courage, and the unbreakable bond of family. Those are the stories worth holding on to, not the fiction spun for profit. Thank you for being here with me today on the Sussex Insights. Remember, be well, be thoughtful, and be kind to one another always. And as always, I'll see you in the next story.